Let's finish it.
The question is does it really make you qualified?
Well, I think it can.
Yeah.
I mean, I also think that it can't. But I mean, I played college baseball. You played professionally. I mean, just because I played college baseball, does that make me qualified, right? And personally, I think it's this. I mean, I've seen a lot of guys who played who were very talented, and they couldn't tell you how they did it. Now, some could. Some absolutely could, because they were just students of the game. They were always after information. But then some guys were just uber talented. Like, they could show up, close their eyes, still hit a baseball 300 feet. You know what I mean? I mean, so that's a tough answer or question to answer, because I think the situations all are different.
I think if you look at any other industry, like if you get a doctorate degree or if you get a master's degree, that doesn't mean that you're totally qualified. It doesn't mean that you're still selling that person.
You might know the information.
You might know the information, but you just
don't know how to translate it.
Yeah, you don't know how to deliver it. Like, I mean, if you look at any industry, like there's the top doctors and then there's the bottom half doctors. And I mean, you have to consider that too. So I think it has to deal with the customer. The customer has to know, like, do you feel comfortable with that instructor? Do you think that person really knows what they're talking about?
Well, and I'd look at experienced guys. I mean, I'll take myself. I mean, I'm in my 10th year of coaching now, and when I look back myself in my second year, I'm a totally different guy. Just because I've learned, I've evolved, I've listened to guys who are better than me. I was lucky enough to coach with a guy who knew his stuff really in and out, and I've learned, I've listened, I've kept my ears open. So when thinking about, is this coach qualified to coach my son or is he not? Start looking at his experience, start looking at his track record, start looking at how his players do, how his teams do. For a club coach perspective, look at how that club is. Have they pushed guys on? Have they moved them forward?
That's why testimonials. I mean, it's the same thing. It's selling and marketing, and it's the same with internet gurus out there. Like I mean, scrolling through the Facebook groups, you can tell who's got their stuff together and who doesn't have their stuff together.
Oh, yeah.
And I hope people can see through that stuff.
Yeah.
Because you can know when a guy is teaching something and he's having results. I think part of it, especially on the internet, you have to look at what are the testimonials? Has anyone really tested their product? Have they gotten the information and succeeded? If it's a product that you're buying, if it's not a gimmick, has someone found it to be successful? Like here's an example. Blast motion. I'm a huge advocate of blast motion. I think it's one of the best tools that a player could buy right now at a very cost-effective rate. That is not a gimmick. That's coming from a professional source, from the Tigers, putting their brand right behind that brand and saying, this is an awesome product. So I would look at that too for your coaches. Who's backing that coach? If he's off on his own, really do your homework on it. If he's backed by an organization, that's going to give you a little bit more confidence in what he's teaching.
I mean, you said it right there. Do your homework. It's really that simple. No matter if it's a professional, ex-professional, ex-college, club, whatever, do your homework. It's really that simple. Don't just make a rash decision based on one guy selling you.
Here's another example, and I'm going to leave it off with this example. At our facility, I would say about 2 years ago, we had a guy that didn't play an ounce of college baseball, and he barely played in high school. But he was the best instructor in this facility by far, and how he was able to connect with players, and he always was learning and trying to advance his skills. He got so good at what he was teaching, he actually worked with a number of major leaguers in the off season and helped them. A lot of major leaguers that you've heard of, brand names that you're probably your son or daughter knows, and he worked with those guys. So it doesn't matter if you played at the University of Southern California or you played 13 years with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Teaching is teaching. There's good teachers, and then there's just players. So I would also think about it that way. Go after the teachers, not the ones that hit a whole bunch of home runs and
Right.
Had a lot of success on the field, because that doesn't tell you if they're going to be able to transfer that information and your son or daughter is going to be able to consume that information correctly.
Exactly. See ball, hit ball isn't the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, I know. I mean, my junior college coach, I didn't know this until I like graduated. Like he didn't really share it, and he never played baseball.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I think he played like little league. I think he played little league, but he didn't play college baseball. He actually was going in
he's
school.
One of the probably one of the best junior college guys around.
Yeah, and then went to the University of Missouri, and then begged to be on the team, like to like help out with the team, and then they gave him a shot, and next thing you know, he ends up winning a national championship for junior college. Isn't that crazy?
Incredible. That's incredible.
So,
but he just wanted to learn.
Yeah, I know. All right, let's jump into the last question.